This podcast is not rated. Listener discretion advised. Mission success.
All right, we're doing movies, podcasts. This is why we do it, I think, guys. This right here.
Why?
This movie is why we're doing the podcast. If it wasn't for the podcast, I'm not sure we would have.
Any of us would watch this.
Yeah, we wouldn't have dove into, I don't want to say Bollywood, but Indian films, I guess you might call this one.
Oh, that's true.
We wouldn't have done it without this podcast, and specifically this one. I'm not sure. It's getting a lot of buzz now, so I really don't know if I would have fallen on it, but I don't know.
I still might not have. I still might have looked at it and been like 3 hours.
I would never have watched this.
Yeah.
I'm extremely happy I watched it.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there are some things I could say negative on it, of course, but I mean, this movie, there's something about it. There's like a joy about it that is just different than
that is the word.
A lot of other things
for these Bollywood films is the joyfulness that's in there.
And I mean, there's joy in other ones, but this one was like super infectious to the point where there were multiple times where I'm just like cheering at the TV. I'm like bouncing on the couch to the music. I'm fucking getting into it. This movie, just even listening, I've listened to the freaking Nacho song probably
More
10
than
times.
Once?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dude,
Christ.
song is fucking
It's
amazing.
good.
No.
And the dance.
I love the opening theme even more.
Never
I
listened
love
to that
the
more than once.
Opening theme is great. The dance
yeah.
with the suspenders is fucking amazing.
I mean, were you guys sitting there like I was, where I was like, wait, the movie just started?
Kind of.
After the RRR? Yeah, okay.
I mean, there were a couple parts where I questioned like the guy.
Let's say first, we are gonna spoil a lot, and this movie has a lot of fantastic scenes. That one of the great things is just like saying, "Oh, this happens next." So
it'll blow your mind. There are things in this movie that you've never
seen.
seen.
Yeah,
maybe if you're TC, it might not blow your mind, but it blew my mind. There were scenes in this and just like they just fucking did that. I can't believe they got away with that.
I mean, the
They're
fucking
just composed scenes that are just fantastic. They're just like Anyway, So
I
if
just
you're
wish they didn't use as
interested,
much
go watch it.
slow-mo.
We're gonna spoil this.
Too much slow-mo.
So that's one of the things I wanted to mention. Usually in movies like this,
much.
the CG and the editing stuff they do, like they remove frames, they do like the 300 speed up, ramp down type of thing.
Yeah.
All that stuff is way over the top. And like it's like oversaturated. It's super digital. It's really clean. Like there's all these things that I normally hate in movies.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
in this one, like it really, for some reason, worked. Like it's so over. And I had like thoughts of like, why is this working? I don't know. I think it's because I was enjoying what was going on the screen. So I wasn't like particularly distracted by the way it looked, which was kind of distracting. But like,
right.
I thought the bad CG looked good because everything that was real looked bad. Like all of the real
up until the really shitty motorcycle over his head.
I thought that was hilarious.
Oh,
I was laughing. Yeah,
I don't think they were going for joke. They were going for as best they could.
They were going for joke.
Action.
For sure.
Dude,
the guy was holding the motorcycle by a tire and he was swinging it around. That's
now
not real.
I gotta look it up.
It's not humor that they're going for, but it's just this over the top action, which it's just like I don't know why.
I think it's humor. I disagree.
I didn't necessarily think it was funny.
I was laughing.
I wasn't like laughing. I was just like, oh yeah. It's not like I would say that it's funny. It's just more like I don't know. It's not like hilarious
I think
to
maybe
me,
that's
but it's
what
just
it is.
I don't know. It's just so over the top. I loved it.
I think maybe that's what it is. Like you either accept the fact that the CG is joke, or like my reaction was, why is this so bad?
Yeah,
they're just good enough.
Right, and then I couldn't get over.
Okay, because one of the things I was gonna say, and I didn't want to like make fun of the movie because this is like getting a lot of attention, but I had thoughts multiple times like this is the best bad movie I've ever seen.
That's not what they were intending. I don't think it was 5 years of heavy VFX use. Like
really?
Yeah, and tons of money.
I don't know. I think they leaned into it. I honestly think it worked so well. Like the scene where they were jumping from the bridge, the explosion where he comes, when he comes out of it, it looks bad, but like the reaction it gave me was a positive reaction. I was like laughing at the screen.
You know, the flag when they're holding the flag and it's going through the thing.
I love that.
That was cool.
That was awesome.
It was cool. It was cool. It was awesome.
And it was awesome how he they didn't speak the same language right in the beginning, or they were far away or whatever, and he did all the sign language to like this is exactly what we're gonna do, and then they both just did it.
Like just because they could see each other.
Right.
above
You're
all
getting
that
on the
space.
motorbike.
Yeah,
I'm going to get on the horse.
I'm going to get on the horse. Yeah,
I love it.
And when you see this noose, don't put it around your neck. Put it around your waist.
Right.
Yeah, like,
I'm going to grab the flag. You're going to get wrapped in the flag because that's going to save you from the flag. That whole sequence was just.
And then they were underwater, running at each other, and then high-fiving each other underwater.
That was
hilarious.
ridiculous. I had a lot of fun with this movie up until about 2 hours in.
Yep. Okay, so that's the other thing that I had. This movie is amazing the first hour. And at the end of the first
that
hour,
whole opening and everything like that.
Yeah. Even the intro song before you saw anything, the music was just like, holy shit, this music
The score was awful though.
I liked it.
I loved the score. I loved it.
God, it sounded like the worst cheap audio samples you could ever use.
I disagree.
I love the mix of the classical
that terrible
and
horn
the
and like over and over again. Oh my God, it was killing me.
Really liked it.
I was okay with it up until, I swear, by the 2 hour mark, something switched.
Maybe it helped because I took a break. I ended up because I had kids to take care of. So
if you have to know, I took 2 days too, so it's okay.
It worked out really, it worked out really nice actually. Though I right about after the dance scene because Alex came down and watched the dance scene with me.
Oh, nice! That was an amazing fucking coordination.
He's like, oh, it's a dance and a battle. This is so awesome.
That's awesome. That is so cool. Yeah, that's great.
I mean, he just loved it. And then we had our own little dance battle upstairs before we went to bed. It was great.
That's funny.
It's
nacho.
Just that whole fucking sequence, the way they do it, and there are no better bad guys than English
colonizers.
They are so good at being bad. It's just.
But the acting wasn't good though.
It wasn't supposed to be. It was. I think it was all stylized.
I believe
I missed that.
For what it was, I was along with it. I didn't sit there judging it for being bad, whether it's the CG or what. And I think that's sort of a
not even the stupid looks they kept doing into the camera over and over again.
I loved it.
Oh my God, it was killing me. It was killing me. It's like, how many times can you make that face for like every different thing that comes up?
If I was in a different mood or place, I don't know. I think this movie would irritate the hell out of me. But I, for some reason, was just really. This was great.
Maybe I just missed the mark. I missed the fucking joke. I forget
what, when you had these bro movies that were out there, like Tango and Cash, that's the one I think of with like, God, Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone, I think. I can't remember who Tango and Cash were.
Make a reference and don't even know what you're referencing. Good job, John.
Hey, this is that just basically is the story of my life.
What I loved about the bromance story in this is that they're just like, there's no alpha male to either of their characters. Like they hug each other, they support each other. There's like, it's not like, an American movie, somebody might be like, oh, they're, maybe they like each other more than just friends or whatever. But the way they do it in this movie, it's like, it is just the most close and wholesome friendship you could ever have.
So it was Russell and Stallone, by the way. Sorry. Anyway, but you're right.
Nobody cares, John.
I know no one cares, but you're the one that criticized me. If you don't want to hear me go research something, don't criticize me.
It's impossible. But you agree. I agree with the point. The point of the movie.
No, I totally agree with that too. That I love the broness, the friendship that they had. That they're. I mean, I don't know. It worked.
18 VFX studios, guys. Jesus. I mean, there's no wonder why it doesn't all look right. But there's fucking a million different people doing it.
Also, this is not a big movie industry this movie was made in. It's it was a Telugu movie industry, which is not even Bollywood.
Yeah, which is like not even Bollywood.
Yeah, right. So this is, in a way, there's scrappy. But this guy, this director, he's done big films, though.
Yeah.
I mean, or very successful films. The one that he did before this is one of the top 5.
Some of the story was really good. Like, it was just, it just kept going on. And I'm
going to agree with you, TC. I do think I actually, right before the podcast, I went back because I had a note saying like it slows down and I was trying to figure out why. There is like an hour in between the scene right at the center, like an hour and a half in. There's the scene where they flip the truck over and all the animals pop out. And that scene is hilarious and awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
But then and then it's like an hour.
Jungle is attacking.
Yeah, the whole jungle is there.
Out of a truck.
I know.
Brought the whole jungle in a truck.
It's an hour until the next action scene after that. And like that whole period of time between that action scene and the next action scene is like
interesting.
Is like all the torture
slow.
stuff. It's like all the flashback stuff.
Although
there's
best
no
torture
music
scene ever.
There's no
even
music
though I
and there's
didn't
no
like
action for an hour.
He sings during the torture scene, which is really good.
It wasn't very dancing.
Well,
though.
I'm sorry. It's the best torture scene I've ever seen.
I mean,
that
it's
doesn't
true
mean
though,
it's good
because
at all,
they were grasping at straws with the nails on the whip.
That was
like
gross.
it was like the whip. The whip isn't good enough. Oh, so we've got a different whip.
Right, the evil woman is like, I happen to have my thorn whip back here. Use
right.
this.
Yeah,
I
like,
carry
Jesus
it with me
Christ,
for special
what's going
occasions
on in
such
your
as this.
bedroom, lady?
Right.
You know? Holy shit, he's a masochist.
I happen to have one of these. Don't we all? Why is everyone looking?
John,
at me?
did you cover your eyes for that scene?
No.
Naomi
because
sure
he's singing?
did. When they slowly
really?
pulled it over his skin, she like screamed and turned away.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's sitting there
Didn't
singing,
really bother me.
and it made this a bearable torture scene. I loved it. I sort of actually was like, this is the best. Again, I hate.
I mean, there is a
torture
good
scenes anyway.
juxtaposition there. I will
I
agree
liked
with
it.
you on that.
I really liked how they did that because it made that bearable.
And then as we get to the end there, they had to explain a lot of things with like audio, where they would like overlay the audio to remind you that like this is something that's happening.
Yeah.
So it started out so strong, and I was having a good time, and I was watching with my girlfriend, and we were like, she was just like, this movie's dumb. And I'm like, it's dumb, but it's good. Like, did you not see it? And then we stopped and I went home to watch it. And then the next day I finished it. And she's like, did you finish the movie? I'm like, no, but there's animals all over the place jumping up and killing people right now. And I got to say, it's pretty fucking cool.
He picks up this big torch and decks
I took a
tiger with it.
I was taking pictures of the screen and sending it to her. I'm like, come on. And she's like, I did not see that coming. I'm like, me either. It's pretty fucking cool. But then you're right, Daddy. I think maybe that hour lull just kind of slows it down a bit to a point of like,
And I think that happened. What was the one where it was like, it was really good for a while, but then at the end it got really cheesy. It was a Bollywood film where like,
was it another one?
Like the message comes at the end. It was like a call center or something. And like somebody's parents got found or something like that.
I don't remember.
Does that ring a bell? And it like really slowed down and became unfunny and had some like weird kind of propaganda message at the end.
Oh God, I don't remember.
There was like a game show to find somebody.
Yes. No, was that God, I don't remember what.
God, I don't remember this at all.
It got really bad towards the end, and like this one, I kind of felt the same way. But like it wasn't
PK. Was that PK? No, he was the alien. PK was when he was the alien. Was that it?
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if it's
don't
just because
remember.
their structure of the story is not like our usual one too. So I wasn't, because they got the songs in there, so they've got to like spread it out. And it's not so much an act as it is like
Plus,
an
they want
act
to
with
say
a song
something too, right? Like the beginning is like friendship, and the end is like I want to say something about how we revolted against the English, which is like
which
a totally
means,
different
like,
thing. And
where there's like the story starts after after they stop becoming friends. That's when a new story begins.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you got to go through all the music still, and just adds in a lot of time. I guess maybe I'm just feeling a little stir crazy because I want like my usual structure. I mean,
And I blame the fact that I know you don't like the Nacho song, but that song is only an hour in, and there's 2 hours after it, and that was the highlight of the movie by far.
Right.
It was. And then, I mean, come on, they were swinging around on ropes. They're fucking. I mean, the guy's holding even in the beginning, the guy's holding the thing shut, and then the rope breaks. I mean, that
the
was
tiger
fucking
was
awesome.
in his face.
Yeah, right,
Yeah. No, but that
awesome.
bridge scene was just, I don't know, that was a highlight too.
That was
Yeah, it was
really
awesome.
good.
The whole way
The animal
that
scene.
whole
I mean, you could
sequence.
tell they ran out of money by the end.
That GIF that you
Because,
sent,
like-
TC, where he's jumping
Yeah.
out of the water
Oh,
with a
it's
spear,
great.
that whole
I
action
know.
scene was pretty damn
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun time. It's just a long watch,
Yeah.
and I missed the joke. I didn't get the joke about it being.
I think it's a
stupid funny.
joke.
I didn't see it as a joke. I see it
I don't-
as
I don't think
over-the-top
I don't
action.
know.
I see it as just.
I thought it was like a kung fu movie.
like Fast and the Furious. It's not a joke either. It's
But that movie's done in a dumb,
That's
fun
true.
way, so it is a joke.
No, but it's not though. Those people are very serious about it. Yeah,
but that's the same kind of thing. It's like
No,
but
I
they
agree.
like that.
But
too.
that I think that
Yeah.
our definition of what that is different because Fast and
Maybe.
Furious is a joke. Like a car can't go from building to building. It's silly that it's doing it. In the movie, the context is serious when they're doing it, but like that by itself is just stupid. If
Yeah,
you
but like
pitch
the
it-
look of the Fast and Furious at least was like cohesive, and I don't know. It was tough to watch. At
I
some
thought
points.
the action in this was really cohesive. Like
it was.
The
No, the action was fine. It's just the
yeah.
look. The look.
The
it was
look.
killing me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
don't know.
damn slow mo.
I like
every shot.
I normally hate that stuff too, and I hate
I just wish they were more intentional with it.
But
they were during the dance scene. That nacho thing where they show, like, when they slow it down, they show how perfectly choreographed they are.
Yeah.
They're literally just like fucking amazingly perfectly together.
Right,
it is
right. But they used it so often, like every single.
And it's 3 hours long, and I didn't get sick of it.
Yeah.
And I'm usually on your side. Something
even
about
love
this.
it, like,
movie.
No,
would,
I mean,
like-
because you're right, though. There is fun there. There is. Sorry,
Yeah.
John. Go ahead.
No. Again, it's just, the choreography is amazing. And the way they end up with a composed shot, even if they just go on from there, like there's the one scene where he's like got the hoses in the water and the other guy's got the fire and they come at each other and it slows down and you have this amazing looking portrait of the guys attacking each other with fire and water. It's just like, holy shit, that's as good as I can imagine any kind of action sequence being in terms of where they end up with that. That was just like so good.
It's almost in your face, but I mean, it is in your face and it's overly intentional, but it's so over the top that like for John, I'm just like, I'm cheering at the screen for that shot. I'm like yelling at the TV. I'm like,
yes. But I feel like what happened though is that like a lot of times they're like, we need to have this shot. How do we write it into the story?
Sure.
And instead of the opposite direction,
it's very often like that. And it's like, is the payoff worth it? If they get there, you're like, all right.
It started right off the bat with the 2 coins in her hand, right? Like she gets killed and then they slowly move and it goes to the coins.
Well, she's
like,
not dead,
I
though.
see what they're
She's
going to
not
do
dead.
here,
She lives.
I was surprised when she was alive. I thought she was fucking dead.
I thought she was dead too.
I also thought that the main character was the young girl's father. And it took me like an hour and a half into the movie where I was like,
did you realize it's her brother?
It was her brother. I thought it was her father.
I thought he was just somebody elected by the tribe for the longest time. Like he was.
So
you also did.
I could have seen that. I could have seen that being like a thing for sure. Because it wasn't clear. It wasn't clear.
Yeah.
They didn't show you that.
I might remove this.
Brother.
But were either of you confused in the first scene with the guy with the mustache and then the next scene, the guy with the goatee? I thought there were 2 different characters for like an hour too. And I was like, wait a minute, was that first scene the cop guy? It was the cop guy, wasn't it? The main character
when he's
movie.
looking all suave.
Suave, when he beats all the shit out of all the people in the
He beats
field.
all the shit out of it, and then the next scene he's in like this like loungewear looking hot.
I thought that was
hot,
the facial hair changed,
right.
and I thought it was a different guy for a long time.
So my girlfriend was like, "Is that the same guy?" And I was like, "Is it?" We rewound. We were like, "Wait, was it?" It's
taking us this long to talk about that fucking sequence, but the whole crowd fighting thing was also awesome.
Sweet.
Dude, the shots from inside the crowd were fucking great.
I really liked
good.
that. Yeah, I really liked how they changed the scenery by having just all those dudes above them.
Yeah,
but you still were in the fight, even though you didn't hear it anymore. It was like all you heard was whatever was in that like little group, and it was still really fucking good. And then all of a sudden, because they realized they couldn't have the crowd noise the entire time. So it was a nice
the challenge
change.
of deciding to do that, of taking this crowd, one guy against hundreds. And making
tens of thousands, John. Holy crap! Are you kidding me? There were so many people out there.
You got Mecca over there, right?
Count so high.
It's fucking literally millions of people out there.
I go past 100 and I've just lost it. I'm sorry.
Says the computer programmer.
Conception of quantity.
Right.
It's
numbers based.
It's a Terry Pratchett joke that works. I think it was the rock trolls that would go one too many.
Okay.
So anyway. Think about that, the one against so many, and deciding to orchestrate that and make that amazing. It's as opposed to just like one guy against the whole crowd. They just squish him and it's all over. The way they pull it all off is again really fantastic.
Yeah,
it just.
I mean, my favorite thing was when they were running up the dudes in red. And they made that like they were dancing.
Right?
That was
like,
amazing.
What, is this a thing?
Sick.
Dude, we paused it. We were like, "Is this fucking real?
It looks real.
It looks real. Are these people really doing this?" And then they all collapsed on top of each other.
Did they just do it in the studio or something? I couldn't tell, man. I honestly couldn't tell.
No, that's why I liked it, because like the CG shots and the way it was shot was so. Like even that, it looked like real people, but it was so colorful and like digital looking. I was like, is this CG?
I think that's why
tell.
I think they lost their money along the way and they just started going to like a lighter, cheaper VFX house.
Like I compare this to like, I was thinking of like The Northman, where they overly digitized it, where the real animals looked fake. And like the movie, the 800, which was, I thought, very similar looking to this, but that was like not colorful. And the CG was equally as bad, I think.
You'd argue a similar level of technology, right?
Or really nice cameras. They obviously have really nice cameras because everything is way too clean, like way too clean. But the way they do the colors and the way they incorporate the CG, like I believe the bad CG better in this movie because the real stuff looks
I
fake.
almost thought they were using some virtual production, to be honest, because there was a couple of those scenes where like I was looking for green around their edges and I couldn't see any. And it looked like as soon as the camera moved up, like when they were on that platform and there were just two guys and they were like in the middle, it was like a wooden platform and the wooden stuff was standing out so good from the background that like it didn't feel like a green screen because there was so much depth between them and the background. So like that seemed like a virtual production thing where they have the walls that are, have all the graphics on it and it's about 30 feet away. So it looks real. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that was really good. And then there was just a lot of shit that was really fucking bad. And I mean, knowing that there's that many VFX houses on it, it makes sense. There's like a hard time to have continuity.
I'm glad it was overly bad as opposed to like medium, like it was either really good or it was like, holy shit, that looks bad. But like, I'm also kind of laughing because it's just so over the
think
top.
about like, I don't know, Rogue One, where they had Admiral Tarkin completely digitized. I don't know if you remember that. But that was like pouring a ton of money and specialized knowledge into a fully animated character, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was okay. I thought it looked pretty
it looked
okay.
okay, but you knew. And so because you knew with the rest of the production of that film, it was just like sore. It stuck out.
Yeah.
It was very strange. But so I don't know. So the idea is like that it wasn't as polished as it might have been. I don't know. It's somehow it all worked to me. And I could see getting annoyed with it too. It just...
Because it definitely looks like
I so wanted
traditionally
to go along
bad,
for the ride.
for sure.
Right.
A lot of the time.
I so wanted to go along for the ride that it didn't matter. And because some of the payoffs were so good. I mean, even like I love that motorcycle scene. He jumps off of the other guy's horse, the other guy has a motorcycle and he bounces off a horse. I forget how that worked, but it was fucking amazing. What did he do? Actually, I had it wrote down because I had to like rewatch it. Is that whole sequence? It was just typical, right? He bounces off his buddy's motorcycle, shoots the guy that's riding the horse, and lands on the horse. The guy was riding.
I mean, that is fucking incredible. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's just like a good idea.
It's like a 5-year-old writing a plot, and everyone adults are like, you can't do that. Just like, I can fucking do it.
I can definitely
do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. That's good. Like when you start to throw these things into like perspective, it's so outrageous. I guess maybe I definitely missed the joke.
I just loved it. I mean, even like his, when he makes his entrance coming back in as revealing that he's a cop and he has this whole flaming wagon that like, that whole sequence again is like, damn.
Yeah.
The wheel hits the guy in the chest.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, yeah, even going as far as when that thing burns and comes down and he flings it on everybody and everybody gets all burned on fire. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that was badass, right? And that's the reason why they got in. And I mean, there was a lot
attaching
of cool
grenades to bow and arrows, like
I know,
shooting motorcycles.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Right.
The scene where he's on the guy's shoulder and the guy's just like shooting people with guns as they run around.
Right. They're doing chicken. They're doing playing. I forget. Isn't that what it's called when you do that? What's it called when you're in the swimming pool and somebody gets on your shoulders?
Like at the end when they're doing that thing where they fly around and he's on his shoulders.
Yeah, no, I forget what it's called.
Is it? Yeah, the game's. Yeah, it's like you try to knock the person.
It's like a
off,
horseback
right?
ride.
Yeah, but what was it called? Damn it!
That was a game.
Can't remember anything.
Pool game, knock person off.
Ask
shoulders.
ChatGPT. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Chicken fight.
Chicken fight. See, it is chicken fight.
Yeah,
That's
chicken
what I was
fight.
thinking. Chicken fight.
Yeah,
because there was a whole chicken fight sequence, which was great. Like,
2-man chicken fight.
Up. Yeah,
Right.
A literal chicken fight. I agree that there's a lot. In some ways, you could poke a lot of holes in it, but I also agree with. I really like what Denny said. Like, not just that this podcast is why I love this podcast so much because we watch a film like this, but this film is why I like movies so much.
Oh.
Anytime.
Let's hear this, John.
I like that statement.
Yeah, let's hear this, John. I need data for this.
Anytime a film takes me along for the ride and I want to go with it, I love it. I love that. No matter what it is, like it sits there and makes me suspend whatever it is, disbelief or cynicism or whatever my grumpy attitude is normally.
I agree.
And just go with it and be happy to be like, yeah, that's
better.
better.
I
than anything.
don't think I've heard it put better by you ever.
Yeah.
So,
and I agree because
that's good. Yeah,
like,
that's
I'm
good.
trying.
It's good stuff.
I usually describe these things that I usually dislike, and I've probably done it tens of times over different movies, like individual things that I would knock for this movie. But in this one, I don't think it matters because I'm looking at it and I'm enjoying the bad parts of it. Right?
I could have watched this last week and not had it click for me. I could have not been there ready for it or whatever. I don't know. I could have been too tired, whatever the fuck, and I might not have gotten carried along for the ride. But when it happens, it's like it's the best thing ever. It's one of the best things ever as far as like experiencing a film. I don't know.
And this movie has a lot of energy in it too.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, in the first, like over half the movie, I felt more energetic. We watch a lot of movies, so I know how I feel when I watch movies most of the time. This was just like, it gave me physical energy. Like I was at a concert or something like that.
Right.
Like I had like the feeling where I was getting
you get the
pumped
stupid
full
smile
of
on your
energy.
face.
Yeah, stupid smile.
I'm in a
most
really
of the
good
movie.
concert.
Yep.
Stupid smile.
Me and Naomi looked at each other. Usually when we watch a movie, we'd like just watch the movie and maybe look at each other a couple times. This movie, we were like looking at each other every 2 minutes, being like, "Holy shit! You see what they just did?"
That's true. That's true. That was happening to us too. Like we'd be like just like laughing all of a sudden. Like, what is going on right now? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I guess you're right, John. I mean, now I'm feeling like I'm a little jealous because like I was because I was sitting there enjoying it for like the first half because I'd be like, no, you gotta come out here. You gotta see this. This is some crazy shit. And then like when I came and watched it by myself, it got to that lull, and then I just kind of lost my way. And then I started picking it apart instead of just watching it. So, damn, I missed the joke.
No, but it's just sometimes you get off the ride, you lose it. Like it's like this sort of like connection to the movie, and you can lose it because of whatever, whether it's you or the movie or both. It just happens. But yeah, what else you got, Denny? That was a long go.
That was a long go. I'm not sure I have that much more. I'm going through my notes. You guys got anything else?
Oh, I got lots of different scenes that I took notes on, like that opening shot of our hero where they show his reflection in the water and the camera goes zooming through
upside down. It flips around.
Yeah, fucking awesome. That was like
looked a little digital, but still I like it. Yep.
Right. Still love that as like here's our introduction to our hero.
Right.
So and then
it was like Avatar a little bit too. Like the colors were so damn bright throughout the movie that that shot when he was like in the jungle, like it kind of looked like, I don't know, like one of the Disney CG like Lion King movies or like Avatar or something like that.
Right. Yeah. And then you have the wolf tiger collision. It was great.
I laughed really hard when that happened.
I was again more like, oh yeah, wolf tiger collision. Did he kill the tiger? Did he like, I'm sorry,
they put it
my
to
brother?
Sleep, right?
I think it was like, I don't know. They might have killed it with whatever that was.
No, they collected all the animals. That's when they released them into the thing, right?
Maybe. He said, maybe you're right. That's what he was doing. But he apologized to the tiger, so I didn't know if that meant something.
Oh, because he was using it to his own means.
He said, I'm sorry, my brother.
Yeah.
But maybe you're right. That's because, I'm sorry, my brother. You're going in the jungle, Chuck, with all the
We're going to use you to terrorize these Brits.
That's right. We're going to go get these motherfuckers with you. That's right.
That shot, I screamed my TV as loud as I ever have when they pulled the thing up and they turned it sideways and dumped all the animals out.
The whole fucking jungle.
It's so
great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. It was great.
And they cut to one and it's just gnawing on the guy's neck, and then it cuts. And I was like, holy shit, what is going on right now?
And here I think the ADR is used to great. At least in my mind, the ADR is the ADR. What is it when it's the voices are recorded over?
That's ADR. Yep. Yeah.
So
automatic dialogue replaced.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. To me, it's used to great effect in a sense because in particular, the two guys' voices are so deep and resonant. It's really powerful. It's the same kind of height. It's like not real, right? And so even like the voices as they're recorded are. By the way, good job calling out. Don't watch it with the English subtitles because Netflix defaults to that, right?
I know.
Or English dub.
Yeah, the English don't do the and I did half and half. And we did the English first, and then I did the subtitles second. It was better on
Hindi.
the subs.
Yeah.
It's better on the subs.
It's the same voice actors for the Hindi track, but this movie was originally recorded in Telugu, is the original language, which is different.
And
than
honestly,
Hindi.
the fucking the subtitles were piss poor.
Really?
They just were shit. Oh yeah, they didn't even fucking match. the actors would say something, and then the subtitles would say something else.
Wait, you're doing
And, like,
English track and subtitles at the same time?
Yeah, so I was doing English track and the English dub.
Okay.
Like,
Goddamn.
because I was like, wanted to sort of figure out what was going on. And I couldn't always understand them. And it was like, I'm sitting there watching it with someone. So like every once in a while, I didn't know what she would hear or not. So it was like, let's keep the subs on. And then like there were times where she'd look at me and she goes, "Is that on purpose?" And I'm like, "No." It's like, and then I'd shit on Netflix. Like, they're known for having the worst dubs and subtitles in the industry.
Is
and
it
like,
is it a
nobody
person
cares, dude.
doing it, or is it like a program?
It's people.
So like someone takes a artistic liberty to like change what the intention
So a
is?
lot of times it is creative intent because of X, Y, and Z reasons. Could be a million different things, right?
They
It could be
localize
that
it for
they're-
us. They're like, oh, Americans won't get this reference, so we'll change it for whatever reason.
Exactly, and they try to adjust it. And then sometimes the dub, they do the same, where they'll like actually, like the Hindi will be a certain translation, but they say that won't work in the English dub, so we'll change it in the English dub. But when they're translating it, they have the subs from the Hindi version. So when you match those two up, they don't match. And there's complaints all the time from on our side because people do exactly what I did. They watch the dub and then they try to watch the sub and it doesn't match. And they're like, something's wrong. And then we have to be like, nope, tell the customer it's a creative intent. It's like, I think it sucks. I mean, I get it. I know what they would say. And having been on both sides, for me, it took me out of the movie. Like, I get it. It sucks, right? Like, because they don't match. But again, it's different cultures, different people, but still, yeah. I mean, do not watch the English dub.
Yeah, what's annoying is it just default. You don't even know. Like you just hit play on Netflix and you're not even.
That's all you
get.
Know, right? Because they assume nobody's going to watch it otherwise.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. People don't read anymore.
Nope.
I'm figuring that out.
TV watchers never read.
I mean, I don't know. I do. I read a lot. I love TV.
I think, well, you're not the majority. I think you got to think like big swaths of the country.
I got to think, like mid-America,
right.
How can I condescend them some more? Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Might as well,
And thanks for listening, guys. Thanks for listening. I appreciate you. But fuck off, huh?
But so listening to these songs are the Natu Natu song just won a Golden Globe for Best Original Song. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Pretty
That's
awesome.
Interesting. Yeah.
If you listen to the Telugu version of it, it's Natu Natu instead of Nacho Nacho.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because in Hindi, it's not Naacho is the translation from Hindi. I looked that up. So Telugu must have a totally different pronunciation.
Yeah.
For Americans.
Yeah. So let's see. So other
it's
things.
Nattu, or sorry,
right.
Naatu.
I was listening. That's what I was listening. I was
and
listening
it's
to that
Telugu,
today. I had that on while I was working.
It's
good work
it's Telugu.
music.
Telugu.
It's Tamil and Telugu.
Telugu. Got it.
Yeah.
I know nothing. I'm an idiot. I apologize.
Yeah.
Well, no, you would never know that, and almost every American calls it Telugu and then Tamil. So I mean, it's just the way that we pronounce our letters.
Yeah.
Because the translations don't necessarily always they're not 1-to-1.
Dude, I'm hopeful that like this movie is going to infuse interest and money into even more so into
like this director
Indian,
or what these groups of people.
That world's already on its way up, Bub.
Right, but I mean,
get better and better and better.
Right, but this is like we're on a trajectory. Like this is one of the biggest movies that's ever come out of India, and it's from like a smaller, it's not even Bollywood, which is exciting. So that might even spark smaller other non-Bollywood industries in India around
100%
wherever Bollywood is. That like they're like if we make a good movie, we can be popular in the United States and make a shit ton of money.
The global marketplace is the marketplace now.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, the other ones that are coming up soon for everybody to pay attention to is Latin America. The Latin American stuff is getting better and better and better and better by the fucking month. So all these things are going to happen in our U.S. world that we're so used to here in the U.S. is dying quickly. Not in the sense of like it's never going to be good, but it's dying in the sense of being
how many Marvel movies can you
owner.
have?
I know.
It's not the owner of entertainment anymore. And at this point, if you really want to make money, you got to go into those other worlds, in those other cultures, and find the good actors.
The end of Hollywood is not with a bang, but with the 6th Ant-Man movie.
Right. Oh, God, I know. And what is it, Ant-Man and Wasp?
Oh, it looks terrible.
Oh, my God. What the fuck are they doing?
I don't know. They have the green screens. They want to use them, They don't want to collect dust. So they're going to put Paul Rudd in front of a green screen for 6 weeks, and they're going to fucking CG everything.
Yeah. I mean, guys, it's not even CG. It's going to be live action, like live virtual production
and
stuff.
those things are fine to just sit and watch with your kids.
They can bang out a movie in a week.
So it's like, yeah.
Well, in Marvel, it's all CG because they have to create the weird, stupid metal buildings and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, but they do all that like how John would develop his video game, and they plaster that on the video walls behind the actors, and they shoot it once, and then it's all real. Yeah,
It's still CG.
it's still CG. Well, it's not even really because they're doing like a different.
They do
type,
the CG
right?
before they film it, though.
Yes, they
So,
do
I mean,
like
it's
an
still
animation.
CG.
It's like an animation.
But they use those screens and they film when it works is when they film actual real shit. Like they use it a lot for driving cars these days.
100%. Oh yeah,
and
I
that
know.
if they get real
I know.
footage, then that looks fucking perfect.
Oh no, but see the best part is your eye gets tricked. When you see the actual videos they're putting in behind those cars, they are animated fucking video game backgrounds. The thing that
They're just
makes
blurry.
It, yeah. Well, no, your eye doesn't notice because the depth of field is there. So like you're focused on the actor and the background stays the background and you're not going to notice it because it's so far away because it's actually far away. And that's why the light looks right because the video walls actually disperse light correctly, and they can.
Some
they can
people
throw
do
up-
real footage though. I was
Yeah.
just watching
No,
the
of
new
course,
Batman
of course
movie.
they do.
Did
Yeah,
like
yeah.
all the car chase scenes and like they built this whole hydraulic thing with screens all
Yep.
around it and like they splash them with water and shit.
Oh, of course,
And they had
There's still real video,
Right.
but for these types of movies, like Marvel, is what I was talking about.
Okay.
For Marvel, they don't need to because it's all fake worlds.
Because fuck going
But,
outside,
like,
am I right?
yeah.
Making
No,
movies is about
but the
staying
coolest-
inside.
I think I've talked about this before, but the coolest thing is that you can shoot Magic Hour for 5 days straight if you want. Because if you've got the video with the sun setting, you can redo that loop over and over and over again and have the actor continue to do his lines.
J.J.
And you
Abrams
can-
is going to
it's
be
awesome.
pissed.
It's awesome. No, I
Spent
think
all
it's
that
just like
time.
it's the regular thing that happens all throughout life. This is part of the change, and you either get on board or you just fucking, you end up a coal miner.
Jesus.
Wow, that's rough.
That's a good, very
take that
mean
one out.
turn at the
Hey,
end there.
let's note that one for an edit, but it's not wrong.
No, I can't. You put it at the end of your sentence, TC. You see, you can't edit shit out like that. I'd have to edit 3-4 minutes out, and the rest of it was good. So staying in.
I mean,
there.
I like that. I keep it. I think it's a good
Easy.
joke. I mean, it's true to the life we're leading.
Well,
right?
the coal miners themselves weren't there by choice necessarily, so I wouldn't
I
go
don't know.
there
I think
for-
they want their jobs.
But,
They're just no
I wanted
longer
to
in
be-
use.
I could have been somebody, but no, I choose this. This black
Could have
lungs
been
for
a
me. That's what
contender,
I want.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Another thing I think that like a reason the CG was intentionally bad is the scene where he had like a leaf blowing on his face and the leaf was just
Yeah.
terrible
Yeah.
CG. They could have
Yeah.
just done it
Yeah.
with a leaf, but they
They could've
chose
thrown
to
a
do
leaf
it
on
with
him.
bad CG.
I mean, they may not have had the leaves, and they didn't think about the leaves until it was like, we need
You
something
can get
in
a
there.
leaf.
Maybe.
You can find a leaf.
You can
I don't
import
know.
leaves. I'm sorry.
They have trees. I guarantee it. Everywhere has trees.
Yeah, I know. Dude, you could get a leaf.
I'll get you a leaf by 3 o'clock today.
You got to
Yeah, right.
you got to get the leaf wrangler, and then you got to get the leaf advisory
Dude,
board.
do you know
and
how
the-
much it costs
the-
for
the
a union
Humane
leaf guy?
Society is
It
going to
costs
get
a
you to
lot.
make sure no trees were harmed.
And what
during
do you
the
want to do
film.
with it? You want to drag it across someone's face? Fuck, we got to get a
Oh,
string
yeah,
guy.
fine.
We got to get a
Dude, we
string
gotta-
guy.
That's right. Taking food out of my kid's mouth.
Guys,
Fucking
fucking
leave guy.
This is just ballooning. Let's just CG it in, okay? Sounds good.
Yeah, all right, fine,
Yeah,
we're good.
right.
we're good. No leaves.
We've
will
had
be
enough
We
harmed
of
already
during
Timmy,
got
we
the
don't
filming
need
of
CG
this film.
guys. It'll take them 2 hours. They'll throw it in there. It'll look great. We don't have to
Yeah.
get a string
And no
guy. We don't have
one's
to get a
gonna get
leaf
hurt.
guy. We'll be
Yeah,
fucking
right.
perfect.
We got a fucking leaf template. We're just going to apply it across the board. We're good. That's right.
That's probably not far off.
I know. That's the worst part.
Oh god.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh, did you notice the old British Nazi woman? She's not a Nazi, but she's like, she is a
Yeah,
Nazi.
that
the
crazy
evil,
lady?
the evil woman.
Yeah, you
What
recognize
about
her? She's had a lot of work done on her face.
Thornwhip.
No.
Thornwhip.
No.
She was the Nazi in The Last Crusade. Nazi woman.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
The one that
That
both
Indiana
father
Jo-
and son slept
sleep
with.
with. Yep.
No
Yeah.
way. Really?
Yeah, same actor. Yeah.
Wow.
She didn't. I didn't recognize her.
No,
at all.
she- I
I
think
just
she
thought
has a
she was
lot
a
of
really
face
bad
work.
actress.
Yeah.
I thought she was a really bad actor.
I think that was intentional. That's what I kept
That's
telling
fine.
myself.
It worked.
Everyone
Yeah.
I mean,
was kind
she-
of on the same
but she-
level,
She couldn't even remember where she was looking or turning her head.
Yep.
I mean, bad.
It was
She
Nicolas
looked
Cage
good.
bad.
She was-
I liked it.
Yeah, I
Messed
know.
up and
I know.
good.
I know.
Get
I
that.
know.
I mean, I like the leads. I thought they were really charismatic.
Oh, the leads,
I-
the leads were the best ones in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, they were,
Did
They
you
were
like
both like-
Jenny Slate in there?
which one was
Jenny
that?
Slate.
You didn't think that the woman, their
Oh,
friend
that's
there?
who. Oh, like she's
yeah.
a doppelganger or something.
Yeah. You know who Jenny Slate is?
No.
Jenny Slate. No, the name rings a bell. It sounds familiar. What?
She was the person who kicked the dog and Everything Everywhere All at Once. She plays the voice of Marcel, the shell with shoes on. She was in
Gotcha.
Parks and
Okay.
Rec. She was like
Mm.
the annoying sister of The guy with the puffy hair.
Oh, she was on SNL.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yep. She was in films like Obvious Child, Zootopia, and Venom.
So
Parks and Recreation.
do you see who I think she looks like?
Yes, I see that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ali
She's funny on Drunk History, man. She's real funny on Drunk History.
But look at Ali Bhatt.
Yeah, no, I can see. No, she totally has the same look. I can see that looking at some images.
Yeah,
here.
it's just Jenny's got, more prominent features in her face. She is fucking hilarious, though, on Drunk History.
That's all I got of the movie. Do you guys?
Oh, I got more.
You got more?
I got my remaining notes. Well, I just want to say one more time.
John's got notes. That's how much he enjoyed it. This is exciting.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
And they sort of, I just want to say one more time how great the bridge rope scene is. I mean, it's just so good.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
I mean, it's got a
it was so good they basked in it afterwards. Like with the underwater scene, they were just like, yeah, that's right. We just fucking did that.
The other film this made me think of a little bit is the most recent Mad Max. Just because of the over-the-top action. Just like going for it. Just like letting the action be like as ridiculous as possible. And that's the other thing that sort of made me think of, and then you got the musical and all that shit going on too, which is crazy. But that's the other sort of comparison I was trying to think in terms of what other film had this kind of like exhilarating sort of action scenes. But yeah, the whole bridge scene, the way the whole thing plays out, and then that's crazy. And then they go climb people, which is fucking, you've never seen that before. Now they're celebrating. You go climb a people tower. I guess that's what you do.
Dude, how strong? Really awesome, how strong do you have to be at the bottom?
It wasn't real,
thing? Is there a tradition?
There's no way that was
real.
Real.
You go and climb people?
No,
what do you even call that? People tower?
It's time for a big celebration, so you make a big people tower. I don't know.
I feel like all they need is two levels.
And you break
and
a
just layer
pinata
them
of
all.
sorts up at the top of the people tower. Like maybe that's a thing.
I mean, it was badass when they were on the top and they were like still doing shit.
I was like, what are they doing? Oh, they're gonna like knock over a pinata. That's all right. Let's go. Let's knock the pinata.
I know, right? Like what a weird thing to do at the top of the people mountain.
I know, right? Climb the, do this amazing bridge sequence. You're gonna climb the people mountain, then you're gonna knock over a pinata.
Yeah. And someone said, what? Right. They're like, no, that's exactly what we're doing. All right. That's what we're doing.
And it's going to be singing all the time. So, anyway, that was really good. I actually like
it's real.
Like
300 people.
The people tower was real?
Yeah. 300 people?
300 people.
Oh.
No.
That's insane.
Did they build something underneath them to stand or what?
It's something they do, or they just decided, no, for this movie, we've come up with the idea that there's going to be a people tower.
Really? I am impressed, I have to say.
Yeah. So sorry, the record is 300. So this is a real thing. It's called Human Tower. Is what it's called. And the world record for most people in a human tower is 300 people. So this is a real thing. It goes back 400 years. And there's coaches for it and shit.
Right.
This is like a sports team.
Nice.
So it's called Castells, and it's from Spain originally.
It's big in Mumbai, and there's a big festival every year it's a one-day festival. It's called the Dahi Handi Festival. And that's crazy shit. There's videos of it.
Insane.
There's video, and people fucking fall off the top. What the fuck? That's real.
Oh, the Dahi Handi Festival. Right. Yep, there it is.
It's what it felt like. That it felt like, this is what you do. You're gonna celebrate. You're gonna build a people tower. There you go. It just seemed like it's like nobody was
How much
like,
more could you celebrate?
Wow.
Why are you guys climbing people? Nobody's asking that question. They're all
they're too busy fucking climbing.
Right. So it seemed like this is what you do next.
Wow.
Okay.
So it's a religious and cultural event versus in Spain, it's a sport.
Oh.
That's weird. I mean, it's also really cool.
It's amazing.
I mean, I'm kind of glad I know that factoid now because when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's a lot. How did they do that with CG? Right? Like, that's all I kept thinking.
That's part of the best. Yeah, the same thing with I couldn't
really
tell
cool.
if it was real or not because that scene, like the shot was so cool looking and it was so colorful. I was like, is this real? It looks kind of real, but it also looks kind of fake. And I can't tell.
Do you know how many were in the? Was there a count? Did you already give the count, or did they not say?
From the movie, I can't find anything like how many people were in the movie one, but.
I mean, John, you're good at counting people. How many people were in there?
Many.
It'd be like
over
5.
100, I'd say.
Tens even.
Tens of hundreds.
Tens of tens.
Tens of tens. I'm guessing
lots.
23 people.
Yeah,
easy.
More.
I mean, there had
Or-
to be at least 12 around each
Yeah,
ring,
That's right.
right? I mean, got to be 7,500
All
people.
right, Denny looks like he's going down a rabbit hole here.
There's so many rabbit holes. Okay, I'm done
I know.
looking. It's real.
So the other,
really
the other
cool.
thing, I really enjoyed the sequence where he's he throws the nails down in front of the girl's car and he gets her to, it was really good comedy, I thought, in terms of like, again, bro comedy where the guy's being a wingman and getting her to like getting the girl to give him a ride, and he's like he's like, no, is there a train station? Yes. No. Say no. All right, no, there's not.
Yeah.
And it was just, I thought it was really well done.
That was
And
cute. That
in
was
terms of the
cute,
timing, the comedic timing between them. And again, this is just such a bro movie. It's all about like,
and I
again,
think
just
it worked too because like there's that head thing, like the head.
the head
bob.
bobble. It's so cute.
It's good because he's agreeing, but like the guy
Right.
says no, so he shakes his head,
Right.
and like she's British, so like she doesn't pick up on the fact that he's
Right.
changing his answers, sort of thing.
Right.
But I
right,
looked
right.
up. That's like an Indian. That's like that's a cultural thing. It's
Oh,
like
yeah,
that-
they go
that
sideways for
bobble.
yes.
Yeah,
It means
that
we
kind of
looked it
bobble
up.
is
It
like
means
the
a
thing.
lot of stuff. Like
Yeah,
contextually,
you use it all the
could
time.
be-
context.
A lot of times it's
Yeah.
like yes.
But
yeah.
this is the
Yeah.
only time I think I saw it in the film. I mean, where
No, we've seen it in other. We've seen
Yeah,
it in
we've
other
seen-
this
oh,
films.
film. In this
Amir
film.
Khan's
I mean,
got it
in
all
this
the
film.
time in
No,
those
in
films.
this film.
Yeah.
They do.
Oh,
They do it a
okay.
lot
I
in
mean-
this film too.
And I didn't
Yeah.
see him do it much.
When they're
Oh
talking,
yeah, no, literally
it seemed very
throughout the movie,
exaggerated
John.
during that part. During
That's-
that part
yes.
was when I really noticed
it was a part of the scene in that part.
Well,
for sure.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
That scene was like they're shaking their head was literally the
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah,
So that's true.
But-
but they did it a lot when they're like talking to each other and they're excited. They would like
they
wave
do
their
it
head.
fast. But he
Yeah.
was being almost comical, and he was like, he
Yeah.
was being almost silly at that point. And
'Cause he was
I mean,
done- he
it's-
was in love.
It's natural. It's
Yeah,
Because
I know,
natural.
also
it's
he was
very
like
sweet.
he just his
Again.
big smile and he like looked
Right,
like
right.
he was just
I know,
completely
it's just very,
in love
very
with this person.
cute. Again, I was along for it. I just thought it was, and and the his bro looking out for him, trying to help him.
I
And
know,
usually
I
in
know.
movies, like when people fall in love at first sight for no other reason beyond like how they look, like that usually irritates me in movies.
annoying.
But in this movie, it was
It's-
like
it's-
so damn cute, and like
Yeah.
the way
Well,
they
that's
acted
not
it.
true though. He saw her first and said she has a good heart. So
Well, he did see that she had a good heart. That
Yeah.
she was looking out. Yeah,
That's
she
true.
was,
and he also had ulterior motives because he knew that was his way in.
She was his
Right?
ticket
Good point.
in too. So they were all.
And
kinds
then
of
he
good
became
points.
in love with her.
But
because,
still, he was,
she liked him.
Yeah,
But it was
He
very
was still
cute.
very sweet.
Very cute.
It was adorable. It was. Yeah.
The times where sometimes when they got dramatic, it would take me out. Like when he sees his sister there, and she's like, "Oh, don't leave me, don't leave me." It's so dramatic and over
Yeah.
the top in a sense that it doesn't. It like almost starts to take. At least those kinds of scenes. There were some scenes like that where like, come on, all right.
Yeah. We already know what this is about. Let's get to the next
There
scene.
was a
Yeah,
Bollywood
yeah.
movie with Three Idiots, was it? Where like the kid killed himself like out of nowhere. It was like happy
Oh.
fun time scene, and then
Right,
kid
right.
hanging himself. And then there was
No,
another
that
one where it was like there was
still
a
shocking.
there was a train explosion scene in another one where just like it was a happy fun movie, and then all of a sudden a friggin' train bomb goes off
That
and
might
like
have been
30
fucking
people.
Three Idiots too. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
could be,
remember,
but like it's not uncommon.
I
right?
still remember that one. No, I still remember that film for that because of the shocking turn. This one, this one, it doesn't. There's certainly nothing like that. It actually might have been really awful if it tried to do something like that in this film. It would have really kicked me off the ride. If
I
it
mean,
went
yeah,
and
the
got
first
serious.
question Daisha asked me was like, well, what happened to the girl? I'm like, turns out that's not the full story. The girl's fine. All right.
She's all right.
Yeah, the total story here is that he's going to go back for his friend. Right? I mean,
Right.
the
It's
real
about the
story
bros.
of this
It's
is that
about
they were
the
best
bros.
friends and they,
Right.
that was,
Right.
she was just
basically
a
it.
catalyst for
The
that.
other part where he's torturing his brother by smashing his knees and breaking his knuckles.
That was brutal.
Was also like, man, this is a little too far. You think how are they gonna be bros after this?
Yeah.
I mean, broness will be hard after this. You just really like
No broness is
mangled your brother.
unshatterable.
I guess
None
so,
of it.
but that again sort
You
of
didn't know that, John? The broness.
No, but that again went too far in a way.
There's always a
like
breaking
almost-
point to broness.
There's a breaking point to broness, bro?
There could have been a breaking point to broness when you break your brother's knuckles. I don't know.
Oh, is that like a
They're
tongue
called-
twister
they're
or
called
something?
bruck-
I mean,
bruckles.
Jesus
Yeah, a little
Christ.
bit.
You break your brother's bruckles.
Hey, breaking bruckle.
Broy knuckles or bruckles.
Now you know what to
break
put in
it.
the summary, Denny.
Break
That
the broness
right
of the
there.
brother's knuckles. Anyway, again, I was like,
Take
whoa,
a note
Phil,
of that
you're almost gonna,
at
like,
that time
kick
frame.
me
and
out
Put
here,
that
you
in the
know.
summary. Yep.
But it was even that was still good. Like the intensity of the actors when there was really good. I just was almost like kicked off the ride in terms of, hey, this is getting a little less fun.
I didn't
here.
want it. Yeah, it's exactly right. It wasn't. I mean,
Yeah.
it was. That's part of the thing. Like the fun action scene stuff was like bad, and I was enjoying it. That stuff kind of ventured into like we're trying to be serious and potentially
Yeah.
good, and I didn't want that because like what I was
Right,
getting
right.
before, I was like, I like this. This is something completely different.
Yeah.
Why are you giving me this? I like the other thing
But
better.
I will say, like when they got into the cop's backstory with his father, I thought I was really moved by it with the whole load, aim, shoot sequence there. As I actually thought that worked. And I was like, maybe it was just I was tired, but that one actually seemed to work for me, and I was like tearing up a bit as like with this whole load, aim, shoot as he's there with the explosives strapped to him. I thought that one worked. I don't know, and maybe
I thought it was pretty good, but I didn't love it because it's not what I wanted.
You're
it's
still
kind of
not
like
going to sit there and go, yeah.
dude, it's like you bust into a room and it's just covered in candy, and you get to eat whatever candy you want. And there's too much candy, but you feel fine for some reason. But then all of a sudden, after like 2 hours of that, someone brings like some really good roasted vegetables. But like you're not in the mood for it. You want more candy.
Huh.
And that's kind of the difficult thing. I still thought it was well done compared to some of the other like sequences. Sometimes when they tried to like pull on the dramatic bits, like with the little girl telling her brother not to leave or whatever, and that didn't seem to work at all. So that one at least still was really moving for what it was. But then that's no fucking jungle leaping out of a truck.
Yeah,
That's
either.
true. Yeah, the action movie became dramatic and it was out of nowhere.
Yeah. But yeah, this film was just fantastic. There's so many good moments to this, and it's just so, I don't know, it's just so over the top. It was great. Like any of these films that try to do that, I don't know. Like compare this to even your Face Offs or The Rock or whatever, and this is just so beyond it in a really good way. Because that's one of the great things about those films, right? Is just how crazy stupid they are.
yeah.
And this film is like,
I didn't think you could do
beyond,
this
I think, yeah.
in movies.
Yeah.
Like the scene, like the bridge scene where they jump with the rope. That seems like literally a little kid came up with it, and then some
Right,
adults
yes.
figured out how to do it. Same thing with like
It is.
the truck scene with all the animals. Like I can't believe no one's done that before because it seems so like
Right, but
like a
that's why
stupid
you
idea
get, like,
at face
Air
value. But
Con or Face Off, like they're sort of going after that, but maybe
But
it's not like
they're
an 8-year-old
grounded.
thought of it. It's more like a 15-year-old thought of it. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's like it doesn't go that wacky.
yeah,
But
Yeah.
yeah, this is just, I don't know. To me, it just tops that stuff. It might ruin some of the fun of some of those films in a sense, because like no, this is really doing it. They've really
the bar has been reset. It is higher
right?
now.
right? Don't you think? Could you? I mean,
I
think
honestly
about
think
it.
so. I had the thought. I didn't want to say it. If TC didn't come in negative, a little negative, I wouldn't have
I'm
said
not
it. But
that
like,
negative.
Don't blame
but-
TC. Don't
Yeah.
blame DC for your cowardness.
I feel like
That's right.
calling this a bad movie is it kind of a cop out, and it's kind of insulting to what the movie does. But I had that thought where I was like, this is in the genre of like a bad movie where it's like super over the top, not realistic. There's bad CG. The acting is really bad, like but over the top a lot
I
of
wouldn't
the
even
time.
call it bad. I'd just rather use a different word like ridiculous or something.
But there's
you
like
know,
a genre of I like bad movies. Like there are
I know,
good
I
bad
know.
movies, and this is
the
kind of
word
like
bad
the good.
works as good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
it's
But
tough to
yeah.
describe because it's at face value it seems like a negative thing, but like it's the opposite of like freaking A Hero or whatever, like a serious
right,
family
right.
drama or whatever,
Which
like
is
an
awesome for what it
Oscar-worthy
is, but yeah.
acting winning, kind of movie. It's like the opposite in a fantastic way. It's bad. It's great.
It's great. Yeah.
It's
that's
hard
all
to,
my-
DC
it's
has
hard
his hands
to-
up in the air. It doesn't quite know
Don't
what to
worry,
say.
man.
It's hard
No.
to say anything about that one, Danny.
yeah,
I don't
it hits.
know.
It hits. Sometimes it hits.
Yeah.
I got some trivia.
What do you got?
Okay.
So this is obviously still new and it's on Netflix, but I watched an interview. The director was on Seth Meyers, the late night show recently. So I watched that, and Seth Meyers asked him about what it's like to screen one of his movies in an Indian cinema. And apparently what people do in movies they're excited about is they spend all day or all week sitting at home ripping up newspapers and collecting it in trash bags. And then they go to the theaters with these trash bags filled with ripped up newspapers. And as soon as it depends on when you get excited. It's like you could either do it when a song starts or when your favorite star comes on screen, but you throw all the paper up in the air. And apparently it happens frequently towards the beginning where everyone does it kind of at the same time and you can't even
Wow.
fucking see the screen. And people are screaming and dancing and running around the theater
What?
where you can't even hear the audio. So you're not even watching the movie. People are so damn
Everybody's
excited.
just drowning
They're-
in newspaper.
Yeah, you're throwing trash all over the theater and running around and yelling. That's how
Oh my
excited
God, that's
everyone is.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
fun.
that sounds
That's
fun.
cool. That's fun.
It does
Yeah,
sound
it does sound fun. I'm not gonna lie.
And his goal for this, one of his goals was that happens a lot during like the first weekend for Indian films that have a lot of hype. He wanted that to go on for weeks and weeks. So like that was his goal.
Right.
I mean, I can see it being huge.
Did he achieve his goal? Do we know?
I think he did.
Or was this early on?
I was going to
don't
get to
know
this
if, like,
later on in this interview. There's not too much here, but he was talking about how like when they made it, they never thought that it would be as big as it was in India and like how huge it is in the world right now. It was on the Netflix top 10 most watched list for 15 weeks straight. It is the highest grossing Indian movie in Japan right now. It's like one of the highest grossing movies from India in general. It's the highest grossing. I forget how TC told me to say it. Telugu.
Telugu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Tamil and Telugu.
From that part of India. Like it's just record breaking and it's huge. And they're flying around the world. And the guy was like tearing up when he's talking about it because it was like hitting him again. Just like being like,
wow.
I never imagined this. And I'm in fucking Hollywood. And he was sitting next to in another interview I watched. It was with the Directors Guild Association in LA. And the one of the main actors was there. And he was talking about how he like vacationed in LA all the time. And he had never done work things in the United States. Like he vacations to the United States, but like now he's sitting and being interviewed with these people that he's looked up to forever. So like he was getting emotional too, and he's just like, and I thank him, and like they had their arms like they were like touching each other, like patting each other, and like hugging each other as they were just like sitting next to each other. They've been friends for a while.
They're best friends.
Yeah,
they're besties.
This director started directing when he was 18, and this the guy who falls in love with the British woman is older than him, but he was in that first movie. And the two main characters are also best friends. The director said that like he wanted to give these guys the two main parts here.
The second actor who plays the other main character, he's
The
new,
police?
right?
No.
He's
No, they're
I thought
both
he's relatively
superstars.
new.
No.
I didn't. I thought somehow he was a new.
According
new guy.
to the director in these and also both interviews, both of these guys are huge stars.
They're really well known. Okay, yeah.
Oh wow.
And they're best friends. And the director said that they're such good friends that if he wanted to give them both roles, but he said if he called one of them, the guy he called first would call the other guy before the director could get to it. To like,
Well, maybe that's why it works so well in the film that it comes through that these guys really like
Are
each
friends.
other.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah,
are
right.
really friends. Like they're really, like it works.
and they didn't. I mean, there wasn't an expectation for it either. So they were like legit having fun. Like it wasn't like, all right, this has to be big.
Right,
It has
this is
to
going to be
make
like
a
the
shit
biggest
ton of money.
blockbuster ever.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe that's the other thing that works here is they're just having a good time.
It did have a huge
True.
budget. It was one of the highest
Yeah.
budget movies
Right.
Yeah.
that
But
that,
imagine.
it didn't seem like they were necessarily they weren't like banking everything on this,
Right.
meaning that they were thinking like, okay, now we're really, this is going to be it. This is going to be our show. It seems like they're genuinely surprised.
yeah, they are. And they're loving it. And they're very appreciative, which is great. A lot of positivity coming from those guys. So this movie was influenced by Inglourious Basterds in a huge way. The director saw Inglourious Basterds in the scene where they roll up on Hitler and shoot him in the face with an Uzi. He was like blown away, being like, holy shit, you can do that in movies? You can take like a historical
Right.
figure and then make a fiction out of it?
Both of these guys are based on historical revolutionaries,
Right.
right? So
And all this conflict was happening around the 1920s. Also
Right,
true. But they didn't know each other and none of this happened.
Right.
So he basically like just created a friend story while having a background of like, I still want to say something about the revolt against England in 1920. So
Right. It can't all be just like great visuals. We got to actually have some story. here.
yeah. So the title was a placeholder. I'm going to look this up really quick.
it
No
was the
shit.
three main people associated with the film.
Yeah, it was the
film
director and the two
RRR,
stars.
Right?
So the working title was RRR, and they put it out there as kind of like, this is the working title. And it was a working title for a while, but one of the actors at some point on an interview show or on the internet or something said it was officially the name by accident. Like he didn't know he wasn't supposed to say it. It wasn't the intent, but everyone loved it after that. So they kind of had to roll with it. And what they did is they initially were planning on localizing the languages to 5 different countries, 5 different languages.
Mm-hmm.
In each of those languages, they went to the country and asked the fans to come up with the best name. What would be the best RRR name for the movie? So they kind of crowdsourced the name of the movie to fit the RRR title. So it's different in every country.
Let's
what
do
the
it.
title
Did
is.
you guys see when they brought in the full title, after the rope scene, and the words appear on the RR. I had to pause it and go back to read that it was. Did you see that?
Roar, rise,
roar, revolt.
Yeah, there you go.
But you didn't see it. It happened. It was there quick. Because first they're like water, fire.
Yeah.
Where the
Story.
R is in the water and the fires, right? And then when they do the RR, it's rise, and it's just tiny, not very big letters there that you see very briefly. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I've never heard of a movie title being crowdsourced.
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty unique.
Again, it seems like they were having fun with it.
Yeah.
They were like, they weren't taking it.
It's a different culture. I mean, it's a different film culture too. There, it's just not
it's kind of refreshing. It's part of the reason too, I think.
I mean, that's why there's gonna be a lot of good shit that comes out of there. It's just a matter of time of like, how do we learn about them? Because honestly, like you said, if this wasn't on our list, I wouldn't, or you had not figured it out, I would never have fucking watched this movie ever. Yeah, no chance. I mean, even the image art for Netflix doesn't like draw you into it, right?
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And the title is not good, I don't think. RRR. It's not that good of a title.
I know.
Yeah.
But none of that matters once you press play.
That's true.
So apparently the director is very hard on the actors. They're all friends, but like the actors described acting in this movie or any of his movies as torture. He was kind of joking, but kind of not. They were apparently very exhausted throughout the shoot. It was a 65-day shoot for this whole movie. 12 of those days were for the Naatu Naatu dance scene.
Wow.
And what he would do, and he said that was the icing on the cake of the torture. Like the entire thing was torture, and the Naatu Naatu 12 days were like the hardest part of the entire shoot. He was so specific what he wanted. He would go through. They would film. So like they actually filmed that at the presidential palace in Kyiv in the Ukraine, like a couple months before the war started. Yeah.
No,
so that's where that takes place. And they filmed it for 12 days there, and they would dance. They practiced for a while, and they filmed it over and over again, and they would run to the dailies, and the director would freeze frame, like frame by frame,
to make sure
go through everything and make sure they
God.
were exactly choreographed. And they did
Do it
it
again.
over and over and over again until they got it perfectly right.
Wow.
Damn.
And they were pissed. They're like, why does it need to be perfectly synchronized? But apparently
that's the biggest part of the movie.
The biggest part. And that was the first thing. Apparently, even the audiences, when they released that song independently of the movie because I guess they figured the song was going to be a huge hit. And it is outside the movie.
I mean, look, it won an award, for fuck's sake. Nacho.
Regular people notice the synchronization. That's how good. I mean, usually when, idiot filmgoers like us, like we just watch a movie, we're like, oh, I don't know what's going on here. It looks good though. Isn't that good?
Yeah.
It was so good that people could like pick it out and be like, that's why this is good. It was because of his intent of like getting it perfectly correct.
That's impressive.
And during those 12 days, they shot from 8 to 8, 12 hours of shooting for 12 days and their whole day. So they got up at 5:30 and prepped, shot from 8 to 8. And they said they didn't get to bed by 11:30.
Oh, God.
So 6 hours of sleep a night, 12 hours of dancing a day. For 12 days.
Jesus, they must have been exhausted.
I listened to that and then I went back and watched the dancing. It's like, even if they pat you dry and powder you in between takes, how are you not in the middle of a shot just pouring sweat?
Like just ridiculously sweaty.
Yeah.
They may have painted it out.
Maybe CG'd it out.
Yeah.
But like,
it sounds like he was
very
very particular.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably threw a bunch of money at making sure it was like just right.
There's some
even
serious physical dancing in that. That looked like a very tiring.
Yes. Another amazing scene. And that again, just the juxtaposition of this intense, insane action. Then you got dancing and really insane.
It is something
really
else.
good dancing. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just
Suspenders
amazing.
will never be the same.
No, they will not. Actually, you're right. They will not. You're totally right.
So that's all I got for trivia. Would you put this in the top 250?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even TC.
Yeah, we turned him.
Yeah.
We turned him.
Well, I mean, I don't think I've seen too many
so.
things like it.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I got lost at like 2 hours, like I said.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Understandable.
My foot was tapping. I was enjoying it. When the fucking animals came out, I was like, holy shit, right? I mean, like, it was, yeah.
And that's all that was expected.
And then all of a sudden it went downhill.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then the fucking motorcycle went over his head, and I was like, oh my God, it looks like shit. Why did they even put that in there?
I'm just like, oh my
Like,
God, he killed the guy
God.
on the horse.
And I'm over here
Jeez,
laughing my ass off, pointing at it.
Yeah,
Like, It
right.
looks so bad. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it
don't
looks so
care.
bad, it's good. Right.
Next week,
What do we watch?
we're going to Boston, guys.
Oh, is this a
Boston?
town?
Heading back to Boston. Whoa.
What is it?
What are
What
you
is
doing
it? What
back
is
there?
it?
Get out of there. Get out of there. What are you doing
What the
back
fuck,
there?
dude? Fuck you.
I'm a sailor, Peg, and I lost my leg. I'm
What is
sailing up to Boston, and I lost my leg. No?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
I got
That was
nothing.
a Dropkick Murphy song. Like
From
the,
what movie?
The Lesser Pogues.
What movie is that from, John? What is it the theme song of? That is the
It's-
movie
is
we
that
are
The
watching next
Departed?
week. The Departed.
It's the Departed Kid.
Yeah. You guys
All
excited?
right. I mean,
Not really? Okay, cool.
I you know, yeah.
Movie
Yeah,
you've seen
look
about 10
excited.
times maybe at this
Yeah, I've
point?
seen it a
Yeah.
lot.
That's
Yeah.
how I feel about
Yeah.
Scorsese films.
You've seen them a lot, but you like to criticize them. Is that right?
Yes, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I'm forced to watch them because of this podcast.
Because everyone
I
tells
was
me that
forced
they're
to
good.
watch them. I was
And I've
forced to
already
watch them
seen
5 times.
I've already seen
Yeah,
them
right.
because you have to watch them otherwise too because they're oh so good, and then I
Yeah.
got to watch them again.
And if you didn't like it, you got to
Yeah.
watch it again and have someone explain to you why you're wrong and why
Yeah,
it is
that's
good.
right.
I mean,
Here we
hey,
go.
look, I like Mark Wahlberg, you know?
Do you?
Kinda, he's funny.
really,
He's terrible.
I think
Sounds
he's
like
funny.
kind of a dick.
I think his fucking brother's funny too. I think they're all right.
Yeah,
I think that
okay.
family is
Maybe
hilarious.
he's good now. He certainly was. Yeah.
I think their family's funny as fuck. I don't know if you've ever seen them like together, but it's hilarious.
Well, then they have
Yeah.
their own reality show and
Well,
the
I mean,
burger
they've
chain,
got,
too.
and the
They're
other
doing it.
brothers are just normal people, and they're funny. I don't know. I think they're funny, but yeah, little Leo, little fucking
Matt
right?
Damon, freaking.
Yeah.
Matt Damon,
Matt
got a
Damon's
little
in it?
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that's right. He's the fucking cop.
He's the
dude.
guy. You got Vera Farmiga, Jack Nicholson.
I got everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be a good one.
Party.
All right. Sweet. Let's
All
watch
right.
that one. Back to the list.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Later, dudes.
See ya.
All right. See you guys.
Stop 'em.